my sexy Dexter fans. So for one thing, I hope you like my delightful winter hat in my sort of almost Christmas-ish colors. And red for Dexter, of course. And welcome to this week's vlog review on Dexter Season 7, Episode 9, Helter Skelter. So, spoiler warning before I get into the thick of things. And can I just say, this was such a wild episode. Like, it was nothing like I was anticipating. I had seen some of the little sneak peeks and previews, and I thought I had a slight idea as to where things were going, and things just exploded exponentially in every single direction. I literally had to take notes so I don't forget what to talk about. It was just it was action-packed and very high energy, extremely volatile in every way, just on the edge of your seat the entire time. There's really not a moment's rest. But just, and yet there was a lot of deep emotional content. There was just so I didn't think that the writers could do this to me, but they did. So I will be dead by the finale, just letting you guys know so you have time to plan my funeral. Just thinking of you guys and my dying self. Okay, so where to begin? Major themes in this episode, and I'm gonna talk about things I especially liked and disliked and things that just made me sad and cry inside, but some of the major themes that were indicated were fear and love. And, you know, right from the get-go, Dexter brings those up as he's out on his boat, and it turns out that Hannah McKay is trailing in the back. I hope she was gonna throw up just for kicks. I'm so bad. I really need to take it easy on her, but I just feel very feisty in regards to her, so anyways, yeah, so he's talking about how fear and love are the strongest of human emotions and things of that nature, and those are played into so intensely with the interactions between Dexter and Isaac. We see Isaac's character is just wrenched open in this episode, and wow, like, he went out with a frickin' bang. I didn't want him to go. Like, he was honestly probably my favorite character of this entire season. I have been having all these little issues with all kinds of other people on different levels, but Isaac has just been so intriguing and beguiling and just kind of enchanting to me in a lot of ways, just with just his emotional quality and the richness of everything that he just expresses and everything that he teaches Dexter. Like, you know, I think back to things of Dexter and Trinity, you know, how Dexter was kind of seeking to learn how this guy managed to lead this life of killing and keep a family, when it turns out that was completely a sham. Whereas this kind of dynamic duo that Isaac kind of wrenches Dexter into, he gains so much from it, and just, you know, Isaac challenges him every time that Dexter falls short emotionally and doesn't allow himself to engage. He even gets mad at Dexter when he's not reciprocating with Hannah in a passionate way. He's just like, come on, man, come on. Like, there's more to you than that. Like, how do you do this? And it was just so wild to see them coming to blows in that way, and just Dexter to be learning about himself like that. Just crazy. Yeah, so what do I freaking do with myself? There's so much in this episode. Like, all of the minor plots, you know, for one thing, the plot with Miss LaGuardia, and she comes to Matthews. He's in retirement, kind of off in La La Land. It was good to see him again. Good to see the kind of his snarky self, and, you know, she's trying to wrangle him into helping her, even though she kind of screwed him up the butt when he was on his way out of the department. So I have a feeling that Isaac's death so early in the season, if you will, it felt early to me because I didn't want him to go. I liked him a lot. He was sexy. But Yeah, I have a feeling that part of the reason why the writers, they didn't really rush it so much as they just focused very intensely on Isaac and they just finished everything up for him in this episode. I think it's because they're going to start bringing the Bay Harbor Butcher insanity more to the forefront towards the end, so that way there is room in the plot for that to explode in a way that is going to knock us clean over. So I think that that's what happened. Albeit I am still going to be mourning throughout this week. I can't say like, oh, I expected so much more from him, because it was such a fantastic episode, and I think that things ran their course really well in that respect. I just wasn't ready. So yeah, it was just so cool to see Isaac's just passionate, fiery sensitivity coming to blows with Dexter's kind of cold, calculating logic, and just the way that those intermingled, and they're kind of sniping back and forth and sort of dodging each other's blows, you know, pushing together, pulling apart, and the way that they're really on each other's side in the very end. It's just such a perfect tragedy. So that was awesome, and it sucked, and I was like, just go to the hospital, don't die on the boat. But also I thought it was kind of an interesting parallel how the episode starts off with Hannah, and you know, she's in the back of Dexter's boat and she's kind of wigging out and talking about fear and everything, and then at the very end, as Dexter is taking Isaac out on his boat, and they're talking about fear and love as well, and just how that kind of informs Dexter when he goes back to see Hannah later. And it was just very rad. I'm still trying to process everything. I feel like there are so many profound things I could be delivering, but I'm still just like trying to regurgitate everything that I just ate, and it's like hasn't even really hit my intestines of thought yet. So I don't know what I'm saying. Clearly I've been thinking about intestines a lot lately because I've been watching a lot of The Walking Dead. So that's all I have to say. Okay, so at any rate, oh, and then they're kind of bringing this new bad guy onto the stage here, the Phantom, I think they're kind of starting to call him. And they're making it kind of obvious who it is. It's kind of that weird, creepy, I don't really know, the kind of the tech guy who's at the crime scenes of the burn victims. You know, he's definitely showing just how antsy he is at these scenes. He's got this very eccentric and just kind of out there nature, and the way that he responds when Dexter like encloses them in that room to get a sense of what happened at the scene, and the way the guy is just so nervous and trying to make it seem like he has no idea what's going on, and yet he's really owning it too much for us to not know that he is deeply intertwined in these. So we'll see where that goes. You know, it's kind of interesting stuff. The season has been so busy that there hasn't been a lot of time for Dexter to be kind of pursuing these side investigations, so to speak. You know, because it's been a lot of the past couple episodes have been very Hannah intensive and just exploring Dexter and Hannah together, and the writers are very emphatic in that they are trying to paint a Dexter in love, which is still really weird for me, very weird for me. And you know, I am starting to like Hannah in certain ways, but it's just really disconcerting how like violently close they have come. And I think that the next episode is going to be exploring a rift between them, because if you saw the little preview right after the episode, and spoiler alert if you don't like to watch those previews, just skip ahead like the next 30 seconds. But you know, Dexter's talking about his dark passenger and how he feels that he doesn't have a choice in what he does, and that kind of rubs Hannah the wrong way. And then Daddy-O shows up, and Dexter's got him in a chokehold. So I have a feeling that it isn't going to be sunshine and roses for too much longer, and it's going to be interesting to see them come to blows with each other. That's what I've been waiting for, because I just don't want Dexter to be happy. I'm just so mean to him. I'm just like, you're in love. Good luck with that. And I think some of us feel that way. Some of us are really enchanted by her and kind of drawing her in. You know, she's definitely a very interesting character. I thought some of the scenes with her and Yurik were really funny. There's a lot of kind of funny little moments in this episode. I noticed it was like high action and like, I don't know. I didn't know what to think. I was just kind of like, you know, I'm like holding my popcorn just like, what is going on? So other things I'm going to touch on, and I'm so out of order, I apologize. I'm sure some of you can't stand this about me, but you know, I don't like taking notes when I'm watching an episode. I want to be experiencing it as I am because I want to show you guys that side of me. So, you know, this mess is all for you guys. It's all for you. I want to be authentic with it. So also things with Quinn and Nadia and Jorge, George. Everything at the foxhole is kind of reaching a fever pitch there. That was an exciting little chain of events. I knew things were going to be interesting since George was hiring men to go hunt down Isaac, and things are getting kind of intense, and he's really kind of focusing on his vice-like grip on Quinn and making sure that Quinn is going to be his little marionette, making sure that business runs smoothly, especially as he is realigning the position of Isaac. And it turns out that he sexually involves himself with Nadia in a way that is, I can only assume, not business professional. She's kind of forced into it, and then Quinn's just like, everything there just kind of explodes, and I was like, oh, Quinn, you are dead, man. You are deader than you have been yet so far. So, and of course George gets away. He gets away from the bar, and he gets away after he comes and shoots Isaac like a bastardly son of a gun. And so he runs off. He's still around. I imagine he's gonna be kinda loco in upcoming episodes, but yeah, so good luck with life, Quinn. It's nice knowing ya. We'll miss you and your little Nadia. Yeah, it's just, I don't really know what to say about that. I don't know. Things are not headed in a very positive direction. And so I think I have kind of touched on everything a little bit except for one key thing that I have been saving because I have a lot of thoughts about this. So, anyways, Dexter and Deborah. The one thing that I did not like about this episode personally, and feel free to contend with this and to disagree with me on this. I would love to discuss with you in the comments below your thoughts on this, as well as all things Helter Skelter. So, Dexter and Deborah, there was like two or three scenes with them in the episode where there was just kind of a lot of like emotional vomiting, and then all of a sudden they're both just kind of walking away from the situation that was opened up in last week's episode, Argentina, the whole I love you bomb. I was waiting for that to be dealt with in a very, very different way, and I have to say I was really disappointed with just how rushed those scenes felt. You know, like Dexter is coming after Deborah as she is, you know, she's trying to head back to the station or something, and he's like, you know, it totally makes sense why you feel how you feel. And then she is in the process of denying it while he's explaining the whole thing. And he's kind of explaining everything that we have been seeing all along, those of us who've been interested in the Dexter and Deborah relationship. What I did like was how he said, you know, we've been the one, like, constant good things in each other's lives, you know, kind of paralleling what Deborah had said in a previous season, and that line has always just touched me so much in regards to them. So I was just like, because the scene was moving so fast, and then he just drops that line, and I'm just like, wait, what are you doing? And yeah, so it's just very fast paced. Then there's the scene where he stops by her house and he's trying to get Deborah to help save Hannah. And another scene where they meet up in the car, and you know, Deborah seems very kind of distraught and just breathing heavily and weirded out and just a little bit manic, but yet it seems like all of a sudden she's totally moved on. And you know, she's talking about how since she let the truth go, like she doesn't feel controlled by it. And then in the end, when she actually saves Hannah, it's very good of you. I don't know if I would have done the same. Kudos to you, Deb. That was a very tough move for you. You know, when she's in the hospital with Hannah kind of interrogating her, and you know, and Hannah's asking if the reason why Deborah saved her is because of Dexter. She's like, no, I'm gonna be doing things on my own now. I need to start doing things for myself. And I understand that. I'm just really weirded out by it right now. I don't know if is Debster poof vanished. I have no idea. I have no idea, and I feel just kind of distraught that we don't have any sense what's going to be done with that plot. Also, for one thing, Dexter and Deborah haven't even hugged at all this season, and that makes me really sad. I'm just like, I have to hug myself because they won't hug each other. It makes me really sad. Yeah, so that's just really hard for me to contend with right now, just the way that they're both just like exploding through the emotional chaos, and I'm gonna be really disappointed if they don't speak at all about Deborah's feelings, if it's just kind of like a vapor. It was all condensed inside her, all of a sudden she breathed it out, and now it's evaporated and it's going into the water cycle, and it's just a part of the world and nothing more. Like, I was expecting something really huge, and you know, it's cool how Dexter is realizing it makes sense, but then he's approaching it from his very logical way, and he's kind of reserving a lot of his more passionate emotions for Hannah, and it just seems very like he has these two dichotomies. You know, things are very logical with Deborah and very not logical, very Helter Skelter with Hannah, and it's just kind of weird for me. I wasn't expecting that. What did you guys think? Yeah, so I'm just having a hard time with that. Yeah, whew. And very sad that Isaac is gone. Very pissed off with LaGuardia and and anxious as that plot is actually finally starting to gain momentum. I don't even know. I just need more perverted Masuka and cute Harrison and just, I don't know, I just need something to hold on to. So, what did you guys think of this episode? Are you freaking out as much as I am? What struck you the most, and where do you feel like this stuff is going? Because apparently none of us can really figure this out. I thought I had an idea of what was happening, and then things went a helter skelter on me. So, yeah, themes of fear and love just explore very intensely in this episode, and logic versus that which defies it. Interesting stuff. We only have 3 more episodes. Like, I don't even know. I think next episode is going to see a lot more Dexter and Hannah, but I think in terms of there being some friction, and I'm not talking about friction of bodies, I'm talking about friction of someone who has a dark passenger and someone who thinks they don't. So I think that they're going to start realizing that they're not as similar as they think. Again, it's just so weird to me how, like, all of the sudden he's just, this portal to Dexter's emotions has just been completely wrenched open, and just flowers and rainbows are just shooting through. That's kind of how it's affecting me personally. For others, it may make more sense, but it's just this constant interplay of the logic and the not logic, and it's very wild to watch unfold. I don't think Dexter even understands it. I don't know. I just don't know. So next week's episode, I think, is called The Dark Whatever. So maybe that refers to Hannah's, like, disdain for the dark passenger? I don't know. So I will post my Dexter Daily story below and other things as I find them. So Leave your thoughts and comments. Let's talk this up because I am still coming to grips with everything. Thank you so much for watching and for all of your support. It's been absolutely fantastic. I'm still just all wired and whacked out from this. So share with me your thoughts before I combust, and we'll see if we can survive all this together. I love you, Isaac. I would have hit that, even though you're a lot older than me. So. Alright, I will see all of you real soon. Leave your thoughts, leave your mess, because I just left my mess all over you. So, fair is fair. My home is your home. Thanks for watching, guys.